currently work for. So, a little bit about myself. Currently, I'm a lieutenant for the Bullitt County Fire Department on Engine 7. It is technically our busiest engine. By most standards, it's not considered a busy engine. I think we average like 8 calls a shift. But when we get into like our area recovery, you're gonna realize like, holy cow, that's a big area. My longest response time can be 30 minutes. So you run 8 calls at 30 minutes a pop, looking at 8 hours just in 8 calls. So just something to think about. So I was a U.S. Marine. I was 2141. I did probably one of the dumbest jobs in the Marine Corps, which was I was a 2141. I worked on amphibious assault vehicles. They're floating tanks. They're made out of aluminum. They jump off back of ships and they float ashore and they take beaches. And they're prone to sinking. Actually, they have 4 pumps in there to ensure they don't sink. Sometimes those things fail and shit happens. In 2023, I graduated Georgia Foot Hour program. Fun times if you've done it. Awesome if you haven't done it. Highly recommend it. It's a fun time for everybody. Currently, I am the president of the Black Sheep Fools, which is Savannah, Chatham County, basically like the east coast of Georgia. We cover a lot of areas. I think I actually have a couple like South Carolina guys in my chapter, all the way down to, I think there's one dude like Kings Bay. Kings Bay is probably the furthest we go. Thank you. Recently, I was asked to be an instructor at the Oath Keepers Conference, which is in northern Ohio, so that was pretty cool. Pretty excited about that, going back this year. Says I'm unapologetic about my beliefs. I really am, and I truly believe that, and you can take that for what it is. You can think I'm lying, you can think whatever, but my current chief, when he wrote my first 2 evaluations for the department I currently work for, he put in there that I was crass. If you don't know what that word means, don't worry, I had to Google it myself. It just means I'm blunt, and I am. What you get was what you get. Nothing else. I'm not nice to everybody. If I don't like you, you're gonna know I don't like you. If I feel a certain way about a topic, I feel a certain way about a topic. It just is what it is. But above all of that stuff, without the fire service, without the Marine Corps, without anything else, I am a father. I have 2 wonderful kids. I have a beautiful wife. I have a mom who kind of likes me sometimes, depends on what day of the week it is. No? All right, my buddy says no. And I have siblings who love me very much, also depending on the day of the week. Oh, that's following me. That's kind of weird. Sorry, it tripped me up. Technology, dude. So, this is a quote from Andy Frederickson. So, FDY, you work on Squad 18. To fight any destruction from other than from the interior, when conditions are favorable to an interior attack, and a thorough search of the building for victims has not been conducted, does not merely constitute incompetence, it smacks of utter cowardice. This will go into this entire presentation, and this will make a lot more sense as we go along. So what we're going to do now is we're going to overview the presentation, just so you can kind of see what we're going to go with everything. So we're going to talk about the community I serve, just so you know my background, and I'm not taking shots at people from, no offense, I know some people in here probably work for bigger departments, but from an area of not understanding, right? Bigger departments don't have the struggles that I have, right? My furthest reaches are going to be 30 minutes. Some departments' furthest reaches are 5 minutes, right? So sometimes I respond to a structure fire and I pull my GPS and it's a 22-minute response time. You know how much that kills me to look at? However, it's a struggle that I currently deal with at my department, and we're working through it ourselves. We're going to talk about play within our industry. We're going to talk about 3 case studies. On the 3rd case study, we're going to do a little bit deeper dive into it and look at some more details to kind of understand what happened and what we can fix. And then we're going to look at tragedy. We're going to talk about impacts and lessons learned from these case studies and things that we can all do moving forward. And then again, mindset moving forward that the fire service as a whole should obtain. So this is the county that I currently serve. The 3 red Maltese are the 3 staff stations that I have. The white one is a mutual aid department. We run automatic aid with them. They run automatic aid with us. They send us an engine to a structure fire. We send them an engine to a structure fire. This one down here that says Brooklyn, that is my station. And if you want to see the large area that I cover, I will stand up here and I will say, right about that chunk is what I cover from my station. And then register is another recently staffed station. For the longest time, we basically split the county in half. So Brooklyn, Coral, Ran every single call within Bullitt County. That's medical, that's car accidents, that's structure fires, that's everything. A little bit further breakdown my department. We are a combination volunteer department. If you don't know what that is, we have career personnel. Currently we have 21 career personnel, 2-man engines, 3 battalion chiefs. We're working towards 3-man engines. They are actually currently in recruit school right now. Some engines, my buddy Trent Reese over here actually has a 3-man engine. So for the majority of us though, we still run a 2-man engine. Right, we're about 50 miles west of Savannah. We cover approximately 673 square miles. That is split between suburban and rural communities. It's 3 staff stations, 5 volunteer stations, and 6 substations. Anybody know what a substation is? If you don't, it's cool, man. It's something that people got tricked into to create their ISO scores. It's literally a single bay with a truck in it, and that's it. It's if a volunteer is driving by, they can grab it and run to a call.
Right, those little dots that were on the map are those volunteer stations? Like
no, those are like
towns or
little
districts?
districts, towns.
I got you.
They do actually. Some of them are like our volunteer districts. Cleto is one. Leafield is another. Stilson. Nevels is kind of taken up by the Bullitt County C. And then there are several substations mixed in there to them. But those are just like communities, I guess would be the better word for it. Yeah.
Do y'all have a decent volunteer response or not really?
What day of the week is it? What station is it? What time of day is it? Right. It just depends on who's where is that?
Right.
Our station 9, which was that Cleto area, yeah. Their lieutenant, he shows up and by himself, whatever, full force. He'll grab an engine and he'll run to whatever structure fire we need. Some of the other areas, not so much. I think currently we're at 53 volunteers. So not a whole lot. We're moving towards 3-man engines. We're moving towards staffing more stations. It's a slow going process for us. It pains my heart. I hate looking up and going, hey, a structure fire toned out and I have a 23-minute response time. Or, hey, I found my mom dead. I have a 23-minute response time. Like, nothing kills me more. However, nothing will change if I leave, so that's why I stay on. So, I live in that county. I love that county. It's getting better, and it's progressively gotten better. I've been there 5 years. It's been a careers department since 2019. I've been there since March of 2020. In that time, we've added a training chief, a inspector, an inspection chief, lieutenants, drivers, firefighters. We've staffed an additional station. We just bought a new to us ladder. We have 3 new engines that should arrive couple weeks, couple E1s, so it's pretty cool. But we do run a lot. I get it. I said we're not like the busiest department in the world. However, my current engine has been in service for 3 years, and I put about 100,000 miles on it already. All right, if anybody knows the NFPA standard, I think it should go out of service at like 25,000 miles or something like that, right? We're still rolling. When I got there, the average age of the engine was, I was 25, so 25. It matched my own current age because we had some 80s and some, I think we had like 170s. It was a struggle. It's still a struggle, but we're currently doing, but we're trying to do better. So we talked about a plague within our industry, and I think it's the biggest plague ever. It's cowardice. Right? And these aren't people who aren't in the job, man. These are people who say they're in the job, but they refuse to do the job or refuse to do the things that take to do this job, right? They refuse to put themselves last and the citizens they serve first. What are the phrases that all these people use? All these cowards, you're all gonna hear them. Here's a couple of them. I'm sure you've all heard some of these, all of these, you've been told them. Right, I'm not gonna touch all of them, I'm not gonna read all of them. I'm gonna read a couple of them though, because a couple of them irk me more than any of them in the world. Fully involved, that's the first one, man. That's the laziest words in the fire service. They're overused and they're misunderstood. And regardless of what anybody tells me, the minute you hear across the radio, you hear 2 different words. If you hear fully involved, your mind shifts. Your mind kind of shifts to okay, cool, they're defensive, right? You hear fully involved, you think shit's on the ground, right? The other one, it's not up here, but I hate it. Nobody's inside. The homeowner said nobody's inside. Well, too bad the homeowner didn't know, and I tell my crew class this, man, but too bad the homeowner didn't know that his daughter came home last night from a sleepover and she got mad at her best friend. And now she's dead and you should feel like shit because you didn't go and search. I don't want to work out just in case we catch one. I hate that one the most, man. I catch the most flack in my department for the fact that I work out in gear and I do sometimes some dumb stuff, man. I'll admit it, I'm a little on the more excessive side. I've done the impossible mile in gear on shift. Should I have done that? Well, now, no. But at the time, it seemed like a good idea. But if you can't work out and then also catch a fire, you shouldn't be in the fire service. You're not in good shape. You're not ready for what's coming. Because I've caught a structure fire, a vehicle fire, and a brush fire all at the same time. If you've never caught a decent brush fire, you don't know how exhausting and tiring lugging 200 feet of even real line through the daggone woods is. It's not my emergency. That's the one I hate the most, probably, that gets used. I hate to break to anybody who doesn't understand this. You actually signed up and swore an oath for it to be your emergency. I mean, I did. I don't know about the rest of you, but I decided on the day I took the oath that I would make everybody's emergency my emergency. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a frequent flyer who calls me twice a week. If it's an emergency for him, it's an emergency for me. I don't care. I get paid for 24 hours at a time. Some of you get paid for 48 hours at a time. You might as well make it worth it, right? You get paid to do the greatest job in the world. And then here it is. Our safety comes first. I did a talk. One of my buddies showed it to his lieutenant, his driver, or his lieutenant, his firefighter. And he texted me, his dude, they said our safety comes first. And I said, you should probably either leave that shift or leave that damn department because that's the most toxic, worst mentality of life. I signed up for my safety to come last. It goes, since I served, my crew and every firefighter on that ground, and then myself. My wife knows that, my family knows that, everybody knows that. Those I ride with know that. I don't want to die. I don't want anybody to think I want to die. Like I said, I got 2 beautiful kids. I love them. Love my wife. But at the end of the day, I'm willing to trade what's mine for them. Like my safety comes last, and their safety comes first. So let's look into their safety comes first mentality. Here's 10 years of data for line of duty deaths, for firefighters, and in civilian fatalities. Tell me what you see on that one. Line of duty deaths is stagnated. They're in the 90s, there's a peak in there in the hundreds. Couple low years, 64. However, civilian deaths are trending upwards in the thousands. If you take just 2023, you have 93 line of duty deaths. You have 3,670 civilian deaths. If you take 3,670 and divide it out, you actually get roughly, it's a decimal, 10 civilian deaths a day. Point something else. I think it was like 2-3. However, if you take 93 and divide it out, you know what you get? You get 1 firefighter death every 4 days. Apparently, our safety coming first isn't the mentality that we should be having. Because all it is doing is making civilian deaths trend upwards. And I ain't got the data to back that up, but I truly believe that's the mindset that is killing the fire service and killing civilians. And you're gonna see in the case studies that we look at, pay attention, there's a trend in them. All 3 of them have something very common in them. Let's look at 2024. 61 line of duty deaths. Only 4 of them are in the interior. 3 of them on the hose line, 1 doing other operations. That means 57 people, unfortunately, died on the outside, whether that be outside the structure, on the way to, on the way back from, right? Do I want anybody in the fire service to die? Absolutely not. Regardless of if I know you're not, I truly mean it. You are my brother. That's one thing I took from the Marine Corps. One thing I loved in the fire service was brotherhood. There's dudes I've known, I ain't talked to in 10 years since I've been out of the Marine Corps that I can call today and we have a great conversation because we shared something. And it's usually suffering, right? It was a shitty moldy tent and some shitty fucking eggs. But we were still brothers, we still shared that suffering together. I don't want anybody to die. I don't want my brothers to die. However, we chose this life. We chose this profession. We chose to do this. So what's the trend in this? Line of duty deaths, they're stagnated over the last 10 years. However, civilian deaths have gone up. That's a trend that shouldn't be there. So again, we're gonna look at 3 case studies. The first one we'll look at happened in Central Florida. November 23rd, 2018, homeowner woke up, found a house on fire, called 911, had decreased mobility due to a hip surgery. It did take the fire department 14 minutes to get on scene. That's not an excuse to me, that's why I wanted to weigh that out first. Don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Get after it. Once on scene, they failed to make entry due to staffing for 2 in, 2 out, and perceived advancements of the fire. I don't have the departments up here. I will not do that. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm here to enlighten on situations and learn about things moving forward. However, you all probably know this situation. If you don't, Google their name. It'll pop up. However, when they first got on scene, they called a fully involved house. And then like 10 or so, 20 minutes later, they called a 50% involved house. However, this lady was on the phone with 911 the entire time the fire service was on scene. There was a fire department outside while she was inside on the phone with the dispatcher, asking why they're not coming in. She took her last breath on the phone with somebody with a fire department outside, claiming it was too hot for them to go in. Thousands of dollars worth of equipment, hundreds of dollars worth of training. Too hot for them to go in. One of them claimed they got steam burned. Isn't that crazy? A steam burn. Shit. Don't come with my burn bill. Don't come with my training room. Second one, Northern Ohio. October 5th, 2024. 7-year-old boy woke up to his house being on fire. He got out through a bathroom window. His mom threw him a phone, called 911. His mom and his sister were still stuck inside the house. Fire department arrived on scene less than 4 minutes. The boy indicated to them where the mom and sister were, that they were still inside. And yet, they still refused to occupy space within that structure and do anything to save their lives. You can hear the audio. You can hear them screaming in the background. Post-incident pictures show no fire damage. Clean walls where the victims were found, they suffocated to death. Isn't that crazy? And this department probably preaches something like, hey, close your doors. Hey, we're coming. You're going to tell your citizens that you're coming and to close their doors at night for fear of fire, you better practice VES. Because otherwise, I don't know what you're doing in life. Third one, Southeast Georgia. 36-year-old male woke up, found his house on fire, called 911, told him it was his back porch. And then they did inform them that regardless, I know we say it all the time, I say it all the time, hey, don't go back looking for your pets aren't really worth your life. He did, however, re-enter the home to retrieve his pets. The fire department was informed multiple times, hey, the homeowner's on scene. Hey, he went back inside. Upon arrival, about a minute after the homeowner re-entered the house, or a couple minutes after the homeowner re-entered the house, fire department called it fully involved and immediately entered defensive operations. Fire was knocked down about 30 minutes later, where they finally deemed it safe enough for the fire department to enter. And they unfortunately, regrettably, found the homeowner deceased. If you haven't picked up on it, there's a trend between those 3 incidents. The trend is the fire department was on scene with a known victim inside, and all 3 fire departments refused to go inside. They refused to do the job they were not only hired for, but entrusted with. We are the only service out of all of public safety who are inherently trusted. Without a doubt, nobody likes EMS because they have shitty bedside manner. Unfortunately, my parents are cops, but nobody likes cops. This is what it is. They're not happy when cops show up. They're not even really happy when EMS shows up. You know what they're happy with? When the damn fire department shows up. We have an inherent trust. People inherently like us. They see us, they want their kids to come up and talk to us, man. But anytime anything like this happens, you know what it does? It knocks us down a peg. Regardless if this was our department or not, as a whole, the fire service takes a hit. People don't trust us as much. They don't think we're coming for them. And that's crazy because that's all we're here for. If you want a safe job, go somewhere else. This ain't it. Hate it for you, leave. Don't want you. I tell my recruits that, I don't give a shit. You don't want to be here? Good. Bye. Ain't gonna ask you to stay. This third one, we're gonna take a look into it. Why? Why? Because it's in South Georgia. Where's South Georgia? Shit, that's the near areas of where I serve. I don't know where the rest of you are from. I'm from South Georgia, so we're gonna look deeper into this one. This is the house pre-incident, right? Can't tell if you don't know. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,200 square foot home. This is a regular home, man. Wasn't a hoarder's house, wasn't nothing crazy about it. Bread and butter, you'll see it in your community, my community, I see it everywhere, right? It's the one you would love to catch a job in because it's super easy. All right, you're not running into anything crazy in this house. So, the initial call went out at 5:53. Called, hey, my house is on fire. Back porch. He woke up that morning and found it, right? There's the origin of the fire. They think it started on the seaside. I'm pretty sure, like, look at it. Come on, we're all firemen. Where'd it start? Started on the seaside. So they think he was burning the night before in like a fire pit, and they think it either A, burned through, or B, when it was windy the night before, it knocked something onto his back porch, smoldered, eventually caught it on fire. So here's the timeline of events leading up to. So obviously the first call went out at 5:53. First unit went out with 3 people at 5:54. For any career personnel, I think we're all career personnel, but that's a turnout. 5 a.m. Shit. Minute turnout with 3 people. That's pretty good. The homeowner did re-enter his house about 15 seconds later. All right, he went back in for his dogs and his cat, I believe. As much as we hate it, right? We tell people all the time, don't do it. But if you don't listen to us, I don't get it. The only people I re-enter at house for is my kids and my wife. My cat can probably just, right? Chinese food. About 3 minutes later, the phone did disconnect. The dispatch did try a couple more times to get back in line, to no avail. Between this time, apologize, he did, however, he walked around the back and he tried using like a little baby fire extinguisher and a garden hose. He tried to put the fire out. Didn't happen, and that's when he re-entered to try to save his animals. First engine arrived about 7 minutes after the initial call with 3 personnel, 1,000 gallons, followed by 2 volunteers. 5 minutes later, they had a second engine and one person driving that. So less than a little over 10 minutes after the initial call, they had 2,000 gallons, 6 people, and still defensive, stayed on the exterior, did nothing but dump water through the window with a known victim inside of that house. There's the A side. That looked like a fully involved house. Wall still standing. That back bedroom doesn't have any fire damage to it. The structure was deemed safe for the fire department to enter 30 minutes later. At that time, they conducted in their own words, not my words, a thorough search and rescue operation. 30 minutes later, they ain't search and rescue, they break it to you, it's a recovery. So after 30 minutes, they found the homeowner 20 feet inside of his door, underneath that windowsill. That picture on the left was taken from the front door. All of these pictures were taken after the fact. I want to add this thing a little bit. I know I should have probably said that, prefaced it. However, all these pictures weren't taken at the scene, or they were at the scene, like a couple minutes after. These were taken several hours, some of them even maybe a day or so afterwards, right? 20 feet. That picture's from the front door. You could have seen his damn body. Yet no push was made, no attempt was made. They wanted it to be safe for them. Here's what a fully involved house is like. That's that back bedroom on the Alpha Delta corner. Dresser's still intact. Clothes all a mess. Only damage really to that room is what the fire department cost. So, Again, I hate the words fully involved. I don't use them. I hate when people use them. I don't know what fully involved means to y'all. I'll give you a generic definition real quick, and then I'll give you what I think a fully involved house is. So generic, a fire that has spread and engulfed an entire structural area, meaning it has reached its maximum intensity and is consuming all available fuel with flame, smoke, significantly visible throughout the involved structure, right? Cool. That's a pretty generic one. Personally, all 4 walls have to be on the ground. If a wall is standing, I am inside of it. I don't care. My crew knows that. People I work for know that. My chiefs know that. Don't give a shit. I'm inside. That's what I'm here for. That's the only reason I'm here. If I just wanted to watch shit burn from the outside, I'd go do something else. There'd be a cop, right? Fuck. So, through all of this, structure fire, life taking. What's the sum of it, man? What do you think their narrative looked like? That's a weird one. Let me tell you. That's the sum of life right there. The only thing I have taken out of this is I have taken the name of the department and the street. That is it, man. That's what that department thought a life was worth. With one paragraph, vague details. I can only surmise why they put vague details and to cover their own ass. That's just a guess. It's not really anything I have factual knowledge on. But, shoot, man. Why do they care? Alright, it's just another civilian death. Who gets the parade? We do, right? If we die, what happens? People are sorry. We get a parade. They'll drape it. Try not to swear, sorry. I'm a swearer, man. They'll drape a little nice flag over your coffin. They'll ring the fucking bell for you. All your past friends will come out, man. Everybody will come out and be so sorry that you died. I'm sorry you died. Don't get that twisted. However, we signed up for it. I signed up to possibly die. I don't know if y'all did. Both the things I've chosen in my life, I signed up to die. It just is what it is at this point. They did not. So who deserves the parade? Who deserves the front page paper? Us or them? I think them. Personally. And you think, shoot, he's just taking shots at this department. Don't know. Wasn't there. However, I wasn't there, you're right. Wasn't there when the fire happened. However, I was there a couple hours later. All those photos, most of them I took. Or someone else I knew took. Why? Because at the end of the day, this wasn't some random person to me. This wasn't a random incident. I didn't pick this out of a fucking shoebox. The person who died in this house fire ended up being my older brother. So, what random, man? I didn't choose to go into this situation as a random example. I chose it because it hit me personally. And I couldn't fathom when I showed up to that house how any fire department could stand outside with no vehicle. And I took it fucking personal. And it turned me fucking hateful for a little while. Because I truly do love this service. And I felt fucking betrayed. He left behind 3 siblings, a mom, and 3 sons. And thankfully, we're not there. But now, what is it, right? Everybody's got questions. Everybody wants answers. So I was angry for a while, but then I chose a different route. Because I don't want that picture on the left for anybody, man. I don't want anybody to have to suffer the pain that my family and so other families have suffered because of lackluster fucking fire departments. People who swear an oath and they refuse to uphold it for one reason or another, right? So I sat down and I chose to look and see what I could do to not only better myself, but maybe pass a message that would better the fire department, better my recruits. So I pulled some stuff apart, man. What did I learn from this? So we're talking about response, we're talking about training, fire attack, and report writing. I don't know if y'all noticed, that report burned me to no end. I hate that my brother's life is summed up in a fucking paragraph. I've written better narratives for a medical report. Hell, medics write better fucking narratives for a fucking toe pain than they wrote for a structure fire and a civilian casualty. So that hit me in a weird spot. So you're gonna have to bear with me through that one. First one we'll touch on though, response time. Our response is, oh, sorry, I hit too many buttons. All right, listen, I get it. You can't control when the call comes out. You can't control how long that call's been going on since you've been called. You can't control fucking traffic. You can't control much, right? Until you get to that scene, and then even some stuff when you're turning out, right? You can decide how fast you turn out from that station. I know, like me, y'all probably have the standard of a minute during the day, 2 minutes at night. Shit, that's a fucking race. I like being able to write my narratives later on and go, oh shit, we were around 30 seconds, right? I ain't doing no bullshit in my house where I'm walking to the fucking truck. Like, I'm in my truck when I'm calling out. I have to, it's a part of policy. I gotta do it over my headset. They can tell the radio what's going on. Right? When you get, how fast you get dressed. When you get to the scene, how fast you get masked up before you go inside. How many people mask up with their gloves on? I mask up with my gloves on. There's one less thing I have to fight with. I do a lot of training at my department, and the one thing I see people mess around with the most is gloves, right? Every time they quit grads, man, they fuck around with gloves. They can't get their gloves on. So if you get out the truck with your fucking gloves on, you can learn to mask up with your shit on. That's one less thing you gotta do. How fast can you pull a line? How fast can you throw a ladder? Hell, how fast can you get to a scene? Are your drivers good, or are they just acting like it's not their damn emergency and driving Miss Daisy to a scene doing 45 because I want to get there safe? Shit, so do I, but guess what? I want to fucking get there. I'll kick you out the damn driver's seat if you do anything less than what that truck taps out at. Where does a lot of this come back to? Any of this, right? It comes back to the training. I get it. Sometimes it's hard, man. However, most of us went through a couple hundred hours of training, if not thousands, depending on how long you've been in the fire service, right? Because you need at least 24 a year, and that's the damn fucking bare minimum you should be getting. But most of us go off ISO. I'm an officer, so it's 240. Right? I get 240 a year. I'm gonna fucking pat myself on the back a little bit. You wanna know how many I got last year? 1297. Because I think it's cool, man. I ain't got no damn life outside of the fire service. This is what I do. But your community invests in you, right? Who pays for you? Citizens, right? Nobody else. County taxing citizens. Citizens pay for your equipment. They pay for your training. They pay for your time. All right. So what do you need to do during that time? Refine search habits, right? When was the last time anybody searched, like really searched, right? Except doing some BS. I hate when I see people go, oh man, let's get some training in, and then they're out there in bunker pants, a helmet, and fucking gloves. That means shit to me. You know what you're missing? Coat, breathing air, mask, a helmet, pack, all that makes a difference. Stretch the line. Everybody argues over what the best pack is, right? Fucking Minuteman's the best. No, I like a triple level. I really like a flat level. I really like a modified. I don't give a shit. Whatever you put on the engine is what I will pull, and what I will be proficient at pulling. Do I have a preference? Absolutely. It's a Minuteman. It's a superior load. Fight if you want. But if tomorrow my department said, hey, we're gonna do a triple leg, guess what? I'm gonna be proficient at triple leg. I'm gonna figure out how to pull it in the best way possible. Ladder, right? Can you pull the ladders off a truck? I had a dude come to my department recently. He said, I said, all right, man, I need to throw that ladder. He goes, all right, well, who's my partner? Shit, nobody, dude. We're a two-man engine. Guess what? 24-foot ladder, That's a single man throw for you now. I don't know what it was before. I know departments that a 34-foot ladder is a single man throw. It can happen. Or 36. What's the next number? 36? I'm not a ladder guy, man. I'm afraid of heights. I try to keep my feet on the ground. That's why I do engine work. Right? Learning fire behavior. I get it. Not everybody has a burn building. It's kind of hard. However, there are different techniques you can do to look at fire behavior. Build a dollhouse, light a fire in it, learn how it flows. Because it needs to be reinforced. As cliche as it is, and as dumb as it might be to say, there is no 1011. When they pick up and they call the phone, you know who's coming? It's you. You know who's coming behind you? Fucking nobody. I ain't got shit else coming. My closest engine is 15 minutes. My closest staffed engine is 15 minutes. Even in my first new area, if I caught a call next door to my station, the closest engine to me is 15 minutes out. I got 1,000 gallons and one other joker with me. Yeah, I don't stand outside the house. I don't give a shit. We're going straight through the door. And if I need to hand off the line to him and him go hit a search, guess what? I'm gonna go do a search. If I'm on the nozzle and I want him to go do a search, here you go. Here's my ticket. Bye. Proficiency in what you do. It all comes back to training. Get it. Some people are at stations where you don't have as much. I don't like to call it a poor department, but we're not well funded. We have our struggles. Our burn building currently is becoming we're a building. My training chief has welded every single piece of that metal into that building. Anything I have built has been built out of pallets. They're donated. I give them for free. People like giving us free shit, man. People have trust in us. You can build props. You can build search areas. It's not hard. Firemen usually have a second craft, a second trade. Find someone who's a carpenter, man. Tell them you want a little building. Learn how to do your job. You can stretch a line at your own station. All right. Tag and search. $1,000. Protective equipment, man. Everything's getting better for us. You can eat so much heat nowadays, it's ridiculous. You can sit in that burn building, sit in the house, and you'll never feel a lick of it. You know who does though? An unprotected civilian. I'm not recommending it. I will never recommend it because that would put, I don't know, people might start hating me on the internet. However, I know of people who have switched away from the particulate hoods. I get it, cancer, scary, don't want to die. However, they're thick. They eat so much more heat. We used to be able to use our ears to tell us when it was too hot, when we open the nozzles. Now our hoods are so thick we can't even do that. I know dudes who are switching back to regular hoods just so they can feel it on their ears still when they need to open that nozzle. I've heard of guys fighting fire with their left hand not in a glove. It's stuck in their freaking coat pocket. You know why? Because when that left hand gets hot, guess what they're doing? They're opening a nozzle. Do I recommend it? No. Do I think it's smart? But who are those motherfuckers there for? They ain't there for them damn selves. You don't fucking walk in with an ungloved hand for yourself. You walk in with an ungloved hand for a civilian. We have to find space and occupy it, right? We have to occupy space to search space. We gotta buy that whatever we don't have. Again, if you preach to your citizens, we are coming, close your doors at night, don't be afraid of fire, man. But you don't practice good VES or good search techniques, you are doing a disservice to your community and you should turn in your fucking badge. Or you should change damn departments. I'm a fidgeter. The last thing, again, weird to a lot of folks. However, report writing. Whole narrative. I'll read it one time for you in case you don't want to read it, man. Because I read it every single time. Lets me remember what I'm doing. Fire department responded to a call regarding church fire at. Dispatch relayed information indicating that the fire had originated at the back porch and rapidly spread throughout the structure. Additionally, it was communicated to dispatch that the homeowner had attempted to rescue a dog trapped within the burning structure. Again, they knew he returned in. This is their narrative. This is their fucking words. Whoever decided to write this narrative, whether it was the first initial officer, the incident commander, however this department does it. This is their own words, man. I ain't doctoring shit. If you want, I'll put them on blast and I'll put their whole fucking report up here. Don't really care. Upon arrival, fire personnel were met with a fully engulfed house. Again, you've seen pictures. That's a lie. Personnel met with a fully engulfed house. Immediate actions were taken to mitigate fire spread. Fire personnel worked to suppress the fire until it was deemed safe to enter the structure. Deemed safe for the fire department to enter the structure with a known civilian. That is that safety first fucking mentality that is killing civilians. It's ridiculous to even say. I can't believe they put it in freaking words. Following the extinguishment of the fire, a thorough search and rescue operation was conducted within the property. Regrettably, the efforts led to the discovery of the deceased homeowner in the kitchen area. Fire personnel told deputies on scene, the discovery of the deceased individual was in the structure, and they let everybody else know. All right, hey, at least they use the words regrettably though, right? They found him dead, but burned beyond recognition. Had to use fucking yellow records to identify him. Otherwise, they had to drag one of my nephews down to the fucking down to the sheriff's office to get DNA off of him. I get it, man. Dude, sometimes the deck is stacked against us. It is an inevitable thing. I get that more than anybody. If I catch a structure in one of my furthest reaches, I'm 20, 30 minutes out. Hate it as much as I do. That deck is stacked against me more than anybody else that I know of. But we still have to do something when we get there. They pay me to do something when I get there. They put trust in me to do something when I get there. What are some things, man? Again, you make a detail, you do your reports however your department tells you to do. However, they could have added in that they did a 360, right? Well, they finished on a 360. How many personnel were on scene? What lines were pulled? Where did they make entry initially? Where did they make the initial fire attack? Did they make it at the seaside where the fire originated, or did they make from the opposite?
I don't want to disrespect you.
Nope.
Did the roof collapse? Originate?
I'll skip back to it and I'll let you look at it a little bit. I'm gonna keep going. It did not, really, but I'll let you look at the picture here in a second. I'm pushing this at my own department. Every company should do their own narrative. Currently in my own department, as much as I don't like it, for the most part, if it's in my area, and y'all saw I pointed out how big my damn area is, I have to do the report. I have to do the narrative. I had a brush fire 2 weeks ago where all I did was sit at a house and wait to see if this big ass bitch was gonna come eat me. What did everybody else do? Shit, I don't know. Guess who had to write the narrative? Me. Right? So I'm trying to push currently for everybody to write the narrative. Whoever's incident commander writes the main narrative, 7 writes theirs, 2 writes theirs, 3 writes theirs, whatever, right? That way there's a better picture of what's going on in that scene. Because I'm sitting at a house by myself with just my driver. I don't know what the hell everybody else is doing. Cool, you told me you sprayed 1,000 gallons of water. Fuck, what'd you spray it on? I don't know. So, just some things to think about moving forward. And then, just some final thoughts, man. Are your actions in line with your words? Are you truly here for them? This happened, I think I was going into work that day. And my brother-in-law called me and told me there was a fire. That's all right, cool, man. That's another day in the fucking neighborhood, right? Cool. Hey, there's a fire at Ian's house. All right, cool. Like, give me fucking more, dude. Otherwise, I'm about to hang up with you. I got shit to do today. Then he expressed to me that he didn't make it out. That fucking ate me up inside. Went to my training chief, went and talked to my training chief about it. Probably one of the greatest things I'll ever meet in the world. Asked him, does it kill me? How? Why? Who the fuck does this? Who stands on the outside? And the only words he offered me are words I will carry with me for a long time. And they bring me some weird comfort. They're not even like that, deep of thoughts, but it's not what you can do It's not what you justify to yourself on scene. It's really easy to justify stuff on scene, at the firehouse, to your boys, in the daylight, right? Like, hey man, we did everything we could. We tried our hardest, yada, yada, yada. However, when you go home and you're alone and you were sitting there with your thoughts, the things that you didn't do and could have done will eat you alive for the rest of your life. There's a saying that a lot of you like to throw around, man, let no man's ghost say that their training let them down. I don't give a shit about that. I know my training's fucking good. I know I train my recruits good. I don't want a single civilian's ghost to ever come back and say that I let them fucking down. That I didn't try my hardest. Why didn't I do what I know I could have done? This happened, went to that house. Here's my content. I'm gonna skip the last one, man. That's my content. I don't give a shit. I went to that house, saw everything that had happened. We gathered some stuff, tried to get some stuff from my nephews, my sister who was out of state, my mom who unfortunately was out of the country, and someone had to make a phone call to. Let her know that her son died. As I walked out of that house, man, I took a couple things, man. Like, that was in his bedroom. How crazy is that? Ain't nothing wrong with that thing. There's a flag that hangs in my house, made out of wood, in his bedroom. Not a fucking thing wrong with it. But I walked out that house and I knocked a piece of that fucking house off. And that used to be the front numbers on his house. Took it with me to remind me every single day it rides in my pickup truck. Any engine I ride on, anywhere I go, comes with me just to remind me, fucking call it cliche if you want, baby, but the consequences of being mediocre at this fucking job. Because there are. There are consequences to not doing this damn job right. And they hurt. So, that's all I got. Thank you.